Kidnap me.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Be kidnapped all weekend.
Oh, no.
Oh, we got that Jaren jersey to give away.
Still don't know the details.
I still hadn't told you.
Still don't know the details. Sounds great. Thanks for letting me know.
We're giving a Jaren jersey away.
What are the...
I do believe. I think. I can't remember. That meeting feels like an eternity ago. Does Wednesday seem like it was really, really far ago? Wednesday feels like it was like 6 or 7 days ago.
This week feels very discombobulated. It might be the fact that the Grizzlies have played Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and they played Saturday.
Getting into the swing of watching these sports, man. Had a big HBCU game last night I was trying to follow along with while trick-or-treating. Of course, Grizzlies, Bucks.
Jets, Texans. Catch of the year, they're calling it.
Okay, calm down. Can't be a catch of the year on a team that's won 3 games. Like, stop it. Quit playing with me.
Big AAC football game last night.
Who?
Tulane and Charlotte.
Who won?
Tulane killed them.
Oh, Charlotte isn't
34-3.
any good. It wasn't big. Like, what are we doing here?
Every game in the American Athletic Conference is a
you know what they
game.
say about the AAC? It just means something.
You know what they say about the AAC? It's America's conference.
Which one
Army,
would be bigger?
Navy, Memphis.
Army's going to throttle Air Force this weekend. That's one of the games I'm looking forward to. It didn't make my RAGGOW, but it's one of the games like, I'll need to flip back and forth betwixt these two. What do you think about Army's quarterback and his Heisman chances? Any to get to New York?
No.
No? Okay.
It's too crowded of a field.
Okay. What was the song?
The song is called Sun Is Gonna Shine Again. It's from a little musical called Bright Star. And Bright Star, some of the music was written by Steve Martin. Actor Steve Martin.
Which one is he?
Only Murders in the Building. The one not dating Meryl Streep. The other one. What's up, everybody? It is Friday, November 1st. It is going to be a good day. It's going to be a good month. Jessica Benson with you from the Grind City Media Studios in Memphis, Tennessee. CJ Hurt behind the glass. Coming up on today's show, a big bounce-back win for the Memphis Grizzlies, an all-time half for Ja Morant. We will get into all things Grizz Bucks. I will have the highlights from last night's game. I have one of my favorite lines I've ever written for a highlight in all my life. Lang Whitaker will join us about 20 minutes in. We'll continue the conversation with him. We will do our RAGGOWs, our games of the week in college football and the NFL. And then we have a very special guest. It is Memphis Hustle Media Day. You will hear from members of the Hustle all day long here on Grind City Media. And we are going to be joined by Memphis Hustle head coach T.C. Swirsky. He was the lead assistant last year. He's been promoted to head coach this time around. We'll get his take on the team, his journey, and everything else. It is a Friday. You know what we say. Something.
Jinkies?
Jinkies. I didn't like that.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Grizzlies fans, dunks, dimes, and no-looks are great on TV, but nothing compares to catching them IRL. And that starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight in person. From seeing your favorite Grizzly stars up close to hearing the squeak of the sneakers on the hardwood. Put that jersey collection to use and get tickets at Ticketmaster. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside, Memphis.
How much have you added weight since your rookie year?
Bro, I think I was like 20?
Rookie, you were
40 pounds.
You
I'm
were
like 265.
You 265 right now?
In between that and like 273, I'm floating in there.
You have looked at a scale and it said 273.
With shoes on, but still.
Too little.
That's not phone posits either, right?
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
The three big beats this week. One was root for points in honor of John Roser. How about that Miami-Louisville game?
Good
Crushed
grief.
the over, which was 60. Finished with 97 total points, 52-45. Meanwhile, the Academy's covering again, both Army and Navy, getting the job done.
This.
Army, best start since 96.
America.
Navy crushed Charlotte. They're ranked 23rd and 24th in the country.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
You know, we got to talk about Scottie Pippen Jr. Scottie has inked that contract. He is now officially off the two-way. He is a member of the regular rotation.
Well-deserved, from my opinion. Like, he straight up earned this one from all the time put in last season with the injuries to Summer League.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Feels great to feel the sunshine. Gotta own the day like it's all mine. Just got paid in his own time. Been working hard, I've been on the grind. I deserve this feeling, having my way. I've been on this healing. This is my day. The sun's out, let's have a little fun now. I wanna let it all out. That's what it's all about. Cause I deserve this feeling, have it my way. I deserve this healing. This is my day.
Grind City Media presents The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt. Live from the Grind City Media studios on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
What's up, everybody? Happy Friday, TGIF. What a difference one day makes. Totally different vibes here this morning when Mariah Carey says, "It's time." What she's really talking about is Ja Morant reminding everybody that he's one of the best in the league. Let's hit the highlights from Grizzlies Bucks last night. Halloween at FedEx Forum. Do you want to play a game? Ja did. You should be afraid. Very afraid. Grizzlies defense. Alive! Zach Edey, the block on Damian Lillard. Jalen Wells, not afraid of ghosts. Not afraid to shoot the three. First career start for the rookie. He had 16 points, 3 of 6 from deep. And here's Scottie turns Dame over. Scottie Pippen Jr. finishes in transition. He had 16 off the bench. Grizzlies' first 40-point quarter of the season coming in that first last night. Ja, the no-look to Santi Aldama. We've seen that before. But have you ever seen a man put the A, the S, and the S in assist? Ja Morant from the floor. Santi with the reverse. One of the best lobs you will ever see. 3 defenders around him. Dare I say, it was bootyful. Ja playing with him last night. Watch him red rum Gary Trent Jr. with the fake. Ooh, hits the 3. Second quarter, an absolute highlight factory for the Grizzlies as they push their lead to 20+. Ja does not need to see dead people because he knows Jaren Jackson Jr. has the finish over Giannis. Ja Morant with 28 and 8 at the half. He stamped the triple-double in the third quarter. The lob to Zach Edey, who throws it down. And Ja with the 8th fastest triple-double in NBA history, the 12th triple-double of 12's career. Lots of tricks, led to a lot of treats last night at FedEx Forum. Had 7 players on the injury report and still had 7 in double figures. Second night of a back-to-back. Grizz win 122-99. A happy Jalloween to everybody. You put the A, S, S in assist.
Which one of
Why
those?
did more people not do that? I was so scared someone else was going to say it first.
Which one of those lines made you the happiest?
I woke up in the middle of the night. This was me. I started falling asleep last night. I was like, oh, I got to sleep. I got to get up so early. And then I was like, he puts the ass in assist.
I thought when you went that way with the ASS, I thought you were gonna say the ASS in pass, but the ASS in assist is good.
I mean, it's literally
it's
the start of the word.
It's good. That's some good
I was
stuff.
looking up. I googled butt puns last night. That one didn't come in that. butt puns.
I thought you said plug. Okay, go ahead.
No, puns.
Okay, I got you.
Puns to try to work with it.
What does a plug have to do with what they did last night?
Oh, what they did last night was a beautiful, beautiful thing. And we can eventually talk about the long terms for this team and the not great vibes with Marcus Smart and Desmond Bane, who were out last night, and the official word being that they were still having images done, or imaging had been done, and they were still awaiting the results for the severity of those injuries. But with the Grizzlies down 7 players, Ja Morant took over the game. Like, that's what superstars do. And anytime you have a player like Ja Morant, you have a chance any given night. And you knew that he went into last night with a little extra something. They had just lost 2 straight games. Also, anytime the Bucks come to FedEx Forum, apparently all the Grizzlies do is beat them now. They even beat them last year with the zombiest of the zombie Grizz. The Bucks are in a bad place. That is another very important component to last night, is just how bad the Bucks actually are. They look old. They look slow. Damian Lillard couldn't do anything. Scottie Pippen Jr. talked about having the defensive assignment on Dame last night and said he certainly had something to prove because a certain coach on the other bench didn't believe in him. That was a little jab at Darvin Ham, who's an assistant for the Bucks. But it was just for one night, like, take everything else aside, it was such a good vibe bounce back because dire straits yesterday. We had our show in the morning, that I went on Gary's show, continued the conversation coming off that Nets loss. Vernon's show was talking about it all day. I was listening to the Vernon show yesterday afternoon, and after about 40 minutes, I just had to take a break. I was like, I need to decompress from the sadness and the despair of everything going on. And the Grizzlies very easily being down so many bodies last night. Even John Conchar didn't play. That allowed Jalen Wells to make his first NBA start. And I love Jalen Wells. Like, he's being asked to do so much so early, and we've certainly seen the ups and downs of a rookie. But the confidence from that kid is...
When did he become confident?
CJ, you want to know when I told you he became confident?
I remember this being said.
Well, it started in the one summer league game where he was like 6 of 7 from 3, and then at the Grizzlies open practice, you tried to hate on my Jalen Wells looks confident at open practice take, and look at him! Look at him now! The best shooter out of Washington State since Klay Thompson.
They should do more open practices.
They really should, man.
Some confidence.
They really should. It was the 40-point first quarter. Gave it no doubt. The Grizzlies have now won back-to-back third quarters, which feels important. But like, it was so simple last night. Put the ball in your best player's hands and watch him go to work. Some of those passes from Ja, the scoring started early. He had, I think, 7 of the Grizzlies' first 11 points and really felt like there was a scorer's mentality there. But when he started dishing out the passes, the no-look to Santi, and then obviously the one from his butt is the highlight that's everywhere. I didn't see if it ended up being SportsCenter's #1 top play, but it should have been. Like, I bet it was the Garrett Wilson catch.
We were in, which it shouldn't be. Let me be clear. It should be the Ja assist.
We've never seen that.
We've seen phenomenal one-hand grabs by receivers and cornerbacks.
Yes.
Tight ends, and I feel like Marshall Faulk and other running backs have had some of those in the past. We hadn't seen an assist, right? So it should be the assist. 1.
It's fun to say.
2, it is fun to say the assist. 2, we're sitting in, we went trick-or-treating. I'm following along with all of the sports that I can follow along with. Grizzlies, obviously the chief amongst them. And we end up going to a chain establishment after we trick-or-treat, and we're sitting down, and the games are up on the screen, and so I'm watching the games, and he makes the assist, and I just go, holy bleep. Was that from his butt? And the people I was around were like, wait, what are you talking about? I was like, no, y'all have got to look up and watch this assist. This is amazing. This is good stuff. And it's a fun reminder that as long as you've got one of the best players in the NBA, as long as you got one of the 10 best players in the NBA, and I said 10 because I was thinking 5, but I'm going to go with 10. As long as you got one of those dudes, they can take over a game in any given moment. It felt like with the comments he made at the end of the Nets game with the, okay, y'all want me to play better, I'll see you guys tomorrow.
He tried to tell us.
It was like, oh, okay, he's got that type of mentality going into this game where he's going to do everything in his power to drag this team to a win. He didn't have to do much dragging. They jumped on the Bucks early and just never let them come up for air. But as long as you have Ja, he's able to win you games on his own. Now, how many can he do? How will that affect the wear and tear on his body? That's yet to be seen. But Ja Morant is absolutely the type of NBA player who, when you step on the court, you know you can win a game because that dude is there, and he just needs a little bit of help. He got that from Santi, Wells, and others last night, and then he did a large portion of the lifting by himself.
He did a large portion of the lifting, but I do think it's important to point out, like, the Grizzlies got that win because of role players stepping into increased roles last night and performing very well. Like, we've talked ad nauseum about the rotations this season and going 11 deep, and last night you actually ended up seeing a debut of Colin Castleton. Colin Castleton came off the bench with Yuki Kawamura. I thought we were going to get Yuki's first shot. When Yuki came off the bench last night, so much better than when Yuki came off the bench at the end of the Nets game, because at the end of the Nets game, everything was sad and over. At the end of the last night's game, he was in because the game was so out of hand, and one of these days we'll have the first Yuki bucket of the season in FedEx Forum, and that place is going to go wild. But last night, Taylor Jenkins had to tighten his rotation because you just didn't even have enough bodies. And even so, Ja only had to play 29 minutes last night. We still haven't seen a 30-minute Ja Morant game because he only had to play 4 minutes in the fourth quarter. I didn't think we'd see him at all in the fourth quarter, but the Bucks made a little bit of a run, and it was nice to see him get back in there. But when you look, all 5 starters in double-figure scoring, obviously Jalen Wells performing the way that he did last night. He also had some of that assignment on Damian Lillard, and I think seeing the defensive gains from Jalen Wells have been just as impressive as his continued growth on the offensive side of the ball. Santi's been great. Santi played 33 minutes last night. Wells played 35 minutes last night. Jaren Jackson Jr., again, having the opportunity to play against Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis really struggles with Jaren. And the thing is, Giannis is great. Like, when you talk about the top 10 players in the NBA, Giannis Antetokounmpo is right in there. And he had 37 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists last night. But nothing else is working around Giannis. And everything was working around Ja. I do want to give a shout out to Jake LaRavia, who had some really solid play last night. He had 11 points and 10 rebounds. He keeps getting rebounds. He had 3 assists too, so you've seen him grow as a playmaker. I know the end of the Nets game was really gross for Jake LaRavia, and ultimately the Grizzlies did not decide to pick up his $5 million option that was due last night. But there was a play that I had to cut out of the highlights for timing's sake, where Jake is on the ground diving, trying to get a loose ball, and the Grizzlies got every loose ball last night. Again, the Bucks looked slow and incapable of doing any of the extra effort plays that would win you 50-50 balls and things like that. But I've been impressed with Jake LaRavia. And I know a lot of people wanted to dunk on him, and people still will. But again, last night he plays 33 minutes. In a perfect world where the Grizzlies are at full strength, I don't need 33 minutes from Jake LaRavia. But if you can get 6 to 8 with what he gave you, that's a positive for this team. They might need him a lot in the next couple of weeks. I don't know what this Marcus injury is going to do. I don't know what the Desmond Bane injury is going to do. You saw Paolo Banchero's oblique news. Oh, he tore his oblique.
That's tough for
And he's
them.
4 to 6 weeks and then reevaluated.
Yeah,
So
that's tough.
we don't know. Like, all we know from Desmond Bane is that he was out with an oblique strain. But it is weird. We don't see a lot of oblique injuries in the NBA, and to get 2 in 2 nights, they both happen in the same night, is definitely something a little odd. That is the tricky part for the Grizzlies, as they will potentially have to navigate however many days, weeks down additional.
LaRavia in that, they're completely different positions, but LaRavia in that Xavier Tillman role is fine, where, hey, it's an emergency, we got to break glass, we can rely on you to come in the game. But when we got the right players out there, you're probably not going to play a ton. I am fine with that. I thought he had another fine game last night as well. But it's hard. There are so many players in front of him who you would say, no, let's not. We could be better off served giving these minutes to somebody else and not necessarily having Jake come on the court at all, unfortunately for him, right? Like, you're going to go 6 to 8 minutes of LaRavia, when you can take one of those minutes and give it to Luke Kennard. You're going to take another 1 minute, give it to GG, take another minute, give it to Vince, add minutes to, because we just talked about that yesterday, add minutes to Desmond and Ja already, right? Like it's a tight squeeze right now, and I don't need to see a team going 10 deep. I don't. I don't want. That's not something that I want to see. Are you excited about the win? Like you?
It genuinely. So contextually, yes.
Okay.
Two teams were desperate for a win last night, and the Grizzlies got it, and didn't just get it. They dominated every single category. They out-rebounded the Bucks 56-26. They had 26 assists on 43 made baskets, outgained them in points in the paint. They actually had more fast break points, but more points off of turnovers. For the Grizzlies, it just felt, especially being in your home building, like you had just given up 2 in front of the home fans. Things felt really, really bad. And so to close out that 4-game homestand with a win, I allowed myself to genuinely be giddy about last night, while also understanding that just like when we're talking about the loss to the Nets in the grand scheme of an 82-game season, one win over a very struggling Bucks team does not mean that everything is fixed. But for one night, it was a nice little Band-Aid. And holding the Bucks to under 100 points, they could not hit the broadside of a barn from 3, as my Nana used to say. They were 9 of 42 from 3. What are you laughing about over there?
Go ahead and finish your thought.
That's the end of the thought.
Okay.
Did I enjoy the win? Yes.
All right,
period.
So the reason I asked, one, great answer, because I do genuinely enjoy hearing you talk about basketball. But 2, my father says you sound like Twister. You got to slow down.
I can't be stopped.
You can't slow down.
I've had 2 cups of coffee.
Why 2? It's
why
8:20?
Because I'm averaging like 4 hours of sleep this week.
8:20. You had 2 cups.
I had 2. I kind of regretted the second one too, if we're being honest.
I always regret the second cup of coffee.
Me too. It leads to the jitters.
That's all it does.
And it kind of makes your tummy upset too.
Yeah. And I feel like, no, I need water immediately.
But I really needed it. I mean, I did wake up in the middle of the night to make the ass and assist line, and then it was a little tough going. I looked at my alarm, or I looked at my clock, and it was like 1:45, and I was like, no, this is the worst. But I was happy because I got to come in here and talk about a win. If we had to come in and talk about another loss, I might have needed 4 cups of coffee this morning, but instead, we got a little jolt, as Dwayne said, and I will slow down. Did you know people used to write into the local news telling me to slow down all the time? Does that shock you?
No.
Me neither.
I have a friend who goes really, really fast. So
I just say I'm excitable.
You're excitable and you're just a fast talker.
I am.
That's it.
I talk with my hands. I'm a fast talker.
Yeah.
Lang Whitaker is going to come in the next segment. That'll allow me to slow down. Lang talked to Santi Aldama about his perspective on that Ja assist and reverse dunk from Santi. We'll get Lang's take on that, on what the Grizzlies win from last night means, if anything, and we'll look ahead to their road trip that starts in Philly when they take on the Sixers on Saturday. That's when we come back.
John Cena was spilling life lessons on this stream, bro. So the best thing I watched all week, John Cena on the Continent stream. By the way, he stole your hairdo. You got to make a phone call.
I was about to say, you showed me a little bit of this clip because I saw the messy room, and the only thing I could see is John Cena's hair. I mean, come on, bro.
He stole your bar.
It's literally identical.
He stole your flow, bar for bar, word for word.
How is mine more gray than his, though?
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
When it's all on the line, you turn to the strong, the stable, the unwavering. To those with a history of raising their performance to meet the moment. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st. And you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
Justin Timberlake. I'm bringing sexy back. The Forget Tomorrow World Tour. Live in Memphis. Justin Timberlake. FedEx Forum, Saturday, November 23rd. Get tickets now at livenation.com. The brand new single Selfish is available to stream and download now. So if I get jealous, I can't help it. For more, hit up justintimberlake.com.
One of the things I really do like about the history of the Memphis Grizzlies is that we have people who have moved here and stayed here. I like how much some of those guys have not only made millions here and won games here, but spent real time here and raised children here.
Yes.
And become a real part of the community.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
The three big beats this week. One was root for points in honor of John Roser. How about that Miami-Louisville game?
Good
Crushed
grief.
the over, which was 60. Finished with 97 total points, 52-45. Meanwhile, the Academy's covering again, both Army and Navy, getting the job done.
This.
Army, best start since 96.
America.
Navy crushed Charlotte. They're ranked 23rd and 24th in the country.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Yellow laces, really bright yellow primary color. You got black on the trim and on the edges.
I gotta get 'em.
And you got some red there as well. Look at that right there, Mike. Look at that right there.
Man, look at that G. Look at that G, boy. That G is moving strong right there, too, man.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Welcome back on this Friday. Hey, later on in this show, I finally got the details. We've got this Memphis Hustle jersey. It is signed by Jaren Jackson Jr. Not Lang Whitaker. Jaren Jackson Jr.
I'll sign
and
the three.
later on in today's show,
Value it.
we're going to have some trivia. And if you are the person who gets the trivia right and the fastest, you win this jersey. So stay tuned in. We're going to have Memphis Hustle head coach TC Swirsky join the show in the 9 o'clock window, but right now it's Lang Whitaker's
What's up?
time.
I was actually talking the other day to our friend Chris Harrington, and we were talking about with some other people at the game the other night. We ran into some people we all know. We were all standing there talking. And Chris Harrington mentioned in passing, he goes, "Oh yeah, I know so-and-so. I'm in a trivia league with him." And I was like, "A trivia league?" And
What?
Chris started telling me about it. He sent me the website of it. It's like a league. It's like a trivia league, and it's online, and you play against other people. But Chris is only allowed to invite somebody like once every 6 months. It's like it's very like tightly held. But it seems to be like a national league of trivia. Like I've never heard of this. Have you heard of something like this?
No.
No, me neither.
Ever. That's so exciting.
It's kind of fun.
Are you
though,
good
yeah.
at trivia?
I'm great at it.
Why does that not surprise me one bit?
I'm good.
I'm category dependent on trivia.
But you play to your strengths, right? Like when I play
Yes.
Trivial Pursuit, I'm always going for the pink or the orange.
Yes.
Because those are my things. Yellow, I'm okay with. Literature, I'm okay with. But like, I try to avoid science and nature. I try to avoid. I'm pretty good at them, but I know like sports. I can get like 90% of those, and entertainment I can get like 90% of those. So I'm sticking to the pink and the orange until I have to get the pie pieces.
Stick to your strengths.
Right.
John Morant
Play
stuck
your
to his strengths last night. He has a lot of them. Just how fun was it in terms of like what last night's win actually means? We'll put a pin in that. But to see John Morant go off, that was our first time this season, his first triple-double of the season. And it felt like it was all leading up to that too, right?
Well, I mean, I don't know what it was leading up to. Because yesterday, all day, everybody, was doom.
The
and
doomiest, gloomiest Thursday.
The weird part was that it felt as though almost like if you think about it, I was thinking about it this morning, the Grizzlies are like 2 quarters away from being 5-1 right now.
Yeah.
2 back quarters away from being a 5-1 team right now. And then everyone's going to be like, oh, look at this. All these guys are hurt. We're 5-1. Wow, everybody's amazing. But sliding doors moment. Now we're 3-3 after last night's win. The way Ja played last night, I was thinking about that this morning also. Like he played with such like, for lack of a better word, like it was almost violent the way he played. Like he's so like aggressive and everything. He's going after the ball and he's rebounding and dribbling and everything is like takes such force from him that like playing like that 6 times in 9 days is probably unsustainable. Playing like that for a whole half feels like it might be unsustainable. But maybe he can play like that 3 times a week for 3/4 of a game. And if he can play like that 3 times a week for 3/4 of a game, the Grizzlies are one of the best teams in the NBA. But the question is really how sustainable is Ja playing like that, because he was unbelievable last night. That first half, with 17 minutes, what did he finish with, 20 points?
28 and 8 in the first half.
28 and 8. Like, I mean, that was insane watching him. I mean, it seemed like he was all over the court all at the same time. Like, it was just phenomenal to see that. And, the night before, he had looked like that leg was still bothering him a little bit. Like, he didn't really have the lift. He shot 5 for 15. He was missing a lot of those in the paint shots that are so easy for him usually. He wasn't getting to the free throw line. To see him bounce back the way he did last night was incredible.
Yeah, and I thought it was a real testament to some people like falsely categorize him as just a dunker.
Yeah.
Like, people just like him because he dunks. Like, no, every highlight last night. We haven't seen Ja put someone on a poster.
He tried
this
last night.
season.
He
I
did the
know.
move where he comes from the right side. Yeah, he tried to get who was that?
Wasn't it Brooke?
Lopez?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he took off and then got fouled like in the air, and it didn't happen. But you saw him. We've seen him enough now that we know the move. We know when it's coming from that right side going to the left. But
It was like, it's such a testament to what he does. And my whole timeline was Ja. Like, it was nice to have a night in the NBA where not just people in Memphis, but the NBA community and a lot of people
And
were
the
tuned
NBA
in
itself.
trying to watch the Bucks, right? And the NBA itself.
They were
but people
tweeting
wanted
about
to
it.
see, like, this Bucks team is at the time 1-3. Is there something there? They're about to go take on a struggling-ish Grizzlies team.
Yeah.
Could this be a get-right night for the Bucks? And it absolutely wasn't. And it's nice for anyone who watched last night's game, the primary takeaway to be, oh my God, John Morant still got it. And then the second be, ooh,
the Bucks are
in
mess.
trouble.
They were, I was sitting with John Roser and I said, man, Damian Lillard hasn't lost a step. He's lost 2 or 3. Like, I mean, Ja was just going around him like he was a traffic cone on the one end of the floor. And then, to have Jalen Wells, a rookie, lock you down, I don't know. I know the Bucks had like 3 days off before the game, and I mean it sort of works that way too, where like teams are tired, and then if you have too much time off, maybe I don't know. I was trying to think of like what excuse you come up with. I was actually researching the Bucks before yesterday for the warm-up show before the game, and there was a story where Doc Rivers was like, "We're close. We're about to take off. I don't know when it's going to happen. We're about to take off." I think it really, you see what a drop-off defensively it is from Drew Holiday to lose him. Brooke Lopez isn't quite what he was a couple years ago. And I think you can see how much they miss Chris Middleton, too, like that other scorer, I mean, Damon and Giannis are both averaging 28 a game coming into last night.
Dame was awful. I mean, 112.
He had a terrible game last night. I mean,
part of it
happens.
was defensively, and part of it was just he had a really bad night.
I mean, the whole team couldn't shoot. I think they finished 25% on 3-pointers, 8 for 30. Yeah, they couldn't make a shot. And then also, like, if your backcourt going into the season is Dame and Gary Trent Jr., like, unless you're in the bubble, like, I'm not too nervous about that backcourt because Gary Trent Jr. was
Trent
the bubble
and
MVP.
Dame went 0 of 13 from 3.
Yeah,
I watched last night, and the constant is, you know what the Bucks could really use? Someone like Drew Holiday.
Yeah, or Chris Middleton.
And they will get Chris Middleton back.
Yeah, they said he was close. There was talk of him playing last night, and he didn't. I also thought it's kind of gotten overwhelmed in all the Ja talk and everything, but this is a team that was undermanned last night, and it started 2 rookies.
Yes.
A second-round pick started and was great. Jalen Wells was awesome, and Edey, every game you see him getting a little bit better and figuring things out a little bit more.
8 rebounds last night. I loved to see that.
I know. I think he's 19. Going into last night, he was 19 for 21 in the restricted area heading into the season. So 3-pointers, whatever. Like, we'll talk about that one day. Like, maybe that becomes a threat for him. But for now,
I don't need that.
Yeah, get him the ball under the basket. Get me some rebounds. Get some blocks. You can see him also. He changed his shots too. Without necessarily blocking them.
Even early on, like Elliot Perry on the radio broadcast has been calling for or encouraging,
Yeah.
like, hey, feed Zach Edey early so that he can start to get in a rhythm. It's not something that we haven't seen with bigs, particularly rookie bigs. And also for Zach Edey, just put the ball on the floor once. Like, get a little bit closer to the basket. And you saw him do it twice early in the first quarter. Those shots didn't go in. He's getting his touch. Like, that's something that has stood out too, but it is getting better.
And last night was a tough, Brook Lopez is not quite as great as he was, but he's still a good defender, and he's almost Edey's size. He's tall, he's long. Like, that's a hard guy to get your shot over. When you're playing against other teams, I was trying to think who it was the other night. Oh, the Nets. They were using Ben Simmons to guard Edey. And it was almost throwing Zach off because he's like, what do I do? I have a 6'9" guy guarding me or 6'8" guy, whatever. So I think Zach's just going to get more comfortable. We talked about how whenever we've talked to him at things, he seems so thoughtful. And I think that extends to his game too. John and I were talking about this also last night, Roser. Like, I mentioned how, like, Zach Edey has played one style of basketball his whole life, right? He's probably been the tallest kid in his class since he was kindergarten. So every coach he's ever had is like, hey, you go stand under the rim, get me some rebounds, don't do anything else, just stay under the basket. And now he's all the way through high school, through college, and now all of a sudden they're like, hey, come out to the three-point line, do all this other stuff. And so that's quite an adjustment. But then I was also thinking, like, he's probably never had teammates as good as this.
Yeah.
He's been the best player on every team he's ever been on, right? I mean, especially at Purdue, you can look at that and say, all right, well, he never had a teammate like John Morant, right? Or Jaren Jackson next to him. So I think that's an adjustment from that standpoint, too. He's like, oh, all of a sudden, like, I got to fit in here, and, like, it's not all catered around me. And he's figuring out how his game fits into that. I mean, the whole rookie class, Gary Parrish talked about it on the warm-up show last night. The whole rookie class has been sort of underwhelming so far this season. And if you look at it in the context of that, like, he's might be the best rookie so far this year.
Donovan Clingan's played pretty. I'm not trying to fuel post fire, but I follow a lot of people in Portland, and of not very many bright sides of the Trailblazers. Like, they are very encouraged by the early returns of Donovan Clingan. The Grizzlies play the Sixers in Philadelphia on Saturday, and as much as I would love to just perpetually bask in a wonderful game from Ja Morant, and honestly, and I think you bring up a good point, like, lost in the jaw of it all, everybody else stepped up. To have 7 players in double figures while having 7 on the injury report is a pretty impressive feat.
Yeah.
You go to a Philly team that has been struggling because they have been without their best players, and Joel Embiid is eyeing a return. He's been participating in 5-on-5 activities. We don't know his status if he'll play against the Grizzlies on Saturday.
How great would it be if Ja dunked on him?
It'd be
if
awesome.
That's
in his
it.
first game
that's
back.
The return? Yeah,
and that's the first poster that we get from Ja this season. Please pencil it in or put it in pen.
Put it on
the
Twitter
schedule
so
for
Ja
the
sees it.
Yeah. I don't know if Ja can dunk on Joel Embiid.
Yeah, we need to
challenge him, like rub him a
get
little
Grizz
up.
Twitter out there to,
exactly.
to fuel this thing.
But how sustainable if the Grizzlies have to play? And again, we don't know what the long-term situation is for, or at least the medium-term situation for Marcus Smart and Desmond Bane. But I will say, I didn't get the greatest vibes last night. Like, we haven't had an email.
We haven't had the email that
which
says...
is good.
Well, Taylor spoke about it last night,
Yes.
and he said, we're doing imaging, and we're going to find out stuff, and we'll know more. I mean, I say this. If you get an email at like 5 o'clock tonight, that's not a good sign.
A Friday news dump.
Yeah, the Friday afternoon news dump, that's never good.
The language specifically that he used of still waiting to determine the severity of the injuries. Like, when you have imaging done, usually that would imply that you either needed more imaging done or you didn't love what you saw in the original imaging, so you're figuring it out.
Did you see there's a guy on Twitter who's like a doctor, or I don't know, maybe just plays a doctor on Twitter, who said the average time lost for an oblique injury in the NBA is 11 days.
Yes.
So,
But then you saw the Paolo Banchero news.
Yes.
So then I was like, oh gosh, that gave me a fright.
Yeah.
But you would hope 11 days. You just don't see it very. It's a football injury.
Or baseball. Baseball players get it.
Yeah.
But like Sean Murphy on the Braves pulled his oblique the opening day and missed like 2 months. So that wasn't great. I don't know. I mean, the fact that that it happened and then he was like on the bench the whole second half in uniform and then walking around on the court, and like he was out there last night walking around like I don't know. The fact that he's not like, laid up already, like that seems to be
good.
positive. I don't know. But I feel like Taylor sort of said it last night in the pregame, something about getting to a more traditional NBA rhythm, where like this, the NBA is a marathon, not a sprint. It's been a sprint to start this season, the 6 games a night. All of us are exhausted. Like we've been dealing with this thing too. Now you get to where you play a game every other day, or maybe you have 2 days off between games, and there's a little bit more time to sort of like, breathe.
Yeah, we're not quite there yet.
Yeah,
so
we're
many
close.
people made the 6 out of the 9, and I can't do the math off the top of my head, but like the first 15, it's a pretty ridiculous, condensed. The density of the schedule remains, because even right now they play Saturday in Philly, then they play Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So again, you're every other day.
That's fine.
But you still haven't had a 2-night off.
It's not back-to-backs though.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
We've had 2 in the first beginning of the season, which has been.
So it's gonna feel luxurious to have all this time off.
Oh, a whole day between every game. How did we deserve this?
We love luxury.
I look forward on bright spots too. Like Jaren Jackson Jr. didn't go off last night, and you do have the Nets again on Monday, so you could have an immediate revenge situation. And like lineup wise, I don't know what Nick Claxton's availability will be, but if the Nets are as small as they were last time around, I would love to just see Jaren feast. But that's Monday. We can talk about that game on Monday. Did you enjoy the Halloween costumes from the Grizzlies last night?
I did. I only saw some of them on the Twitter, and then I saw more on the Instagram. I thought. Santi was my favorite because Batman's my favorite superhero.
Yes.
But like I didn't realize it was Santi. It was a good enough costume
spent
that
a lot of time looking.
He was
at this
totally
photo, trying to
hidden
figure
for a
it
long
out.
time. If you look closely, those are Nike shorts too. I thought that was a nice touch. But I was also thinking it must be really hard to find a 7-foot Batman costume. Like it's not like you can't just go to like the Spirit Halloween store and buy one.
Who do you think encouraged Yuki Kawamura to dress as a ninja?
Yeah. Who does Yuki always talk to? It's got to be either Ja or Jay Huff. It's got to be one of the two of them because that's who he's always talking to. So I would guess. And who was the one who used to always post the ninja stuff on Twitter? Ja Morant. So that's my guess.
I mean, Yuki is a real ass ninja.
Yes.
He got in last night at the end of the. Did you see he played?
I know.
Right at the end.
I said it was much more fun to watch Yuki get into the game last night than it was the night before. Entirely different energy. I loved Jay Huff doing the Kyle Kuzma.
Yeah.
I know more and more people have done. Many people were in my mentions informing me that Jay Huff is not the first person who has ever done the Kyle Kuzma.
The best
and I said, okay, but he did it in his walk into a game outfit on Halloween night, doing the long pink sleeves. And Kyle Kuzma has retired his pregame fits. That was
I saw that.
a little piece of NBA news this year.
I don't believe him. I think
You don't believe him?
No.
Why?
That's all he's got going for him. That's his whole thing is fits. Like we don't look at Kyle Kuzma for basketball. We look at Kyle Kuzma for the fits.
Okay, you're not wrong.
I think he's just level setting. He's telling people, hey, like, listen, I'm taking the fits down, and then he's gonna come back and hit you with more fits and be like, we thought you were done. You pulled us back in. That's all he's got.
I want to know how Jay Huff made the pink sweater.
I don't know. I know his wife is real crafty and she does
She
sneakers
probably
and
did
stuff.
it.
I was thinking maybe she helped out with that.
Because it's like they attached another sleeve onto the sleeve. Because Kuzma's pink sweater is an actual
just knit.
A pink knit sweater. But
he's got
it
the
looks
hat
like
and the
Huff
pants
has,
too.
I
He's
know.
got the whole thing.
I did enjoy it. In terms of Halloween costumes.
I wonder, did he play with Kuzma? He used to be on the Wizards a couple of years ago.
Huff
Jay Huff
was?
Yeah.
Outside of the Lakers and the Nuggets?
Yeah, he was on the Wizards. He was on the Capital City
So
Go-Go.
maybe he knows him.
Yeah, he might know him.
Can we get the bobblehead? Can we get a Jay Huff in the Kyle Kuzma outfit bobblehead? Because they made
That'd be great.
a Kyle Kuzma bobblehead in the pink sweater. I appreciated the Grizzlies costumes, but after seeing some costumes from around like the United States last night, did you see Heidi Klum's costume?
Well, no. I know this is like what she lives for.
Okay, well first, this is Victor Wembanyama,
Wemby
who
was great.
I thought Wemby was the best of the NBA last night. This is fantastic.
What is Wemby?
I don't know, but he has an air conditioning unit inside the costume to make
It's
it
something
flutter.
faceless or something. I saw
Is this from? I meant to look this up. Is this from Avatar: Last Airbender? I'm gonna have to check that out. I think it's one of the spirits from that show, which would make me respect Wemby all the more.
I mean, if I saw that, I would be terrified. Like in real life, if I saw that. No, it's from Spirited Away. He's Kawanashi from the movie Spirited Away. Okay. So I appreciate that he has a sense of humor.
I like that he can't walk.
Did you see his stat line last night?
Yeah, he 5'5",
25, 9, 7, 5, and 5.
Yeah.
He's insane. So to wear that and then have that kind of performance.
5x5.
But I need somebody to become the I guess Wemby is the closest thing we have. Victor Wembanyama could be the Heidi Klum of the NBA, where every year, because he had a good costume last year as well, and everyone always awaits to see what Heidi Klum is going to do for Halloween. And she and her husband went as E.T. These are people.
Yeah, you can see their face in the neck, which is creepy.
I'm a thought home.
Hey, CJ, do you still have the name dropping with Lang music handy?
Oh, give it to us. Name dropping with Lang.
I can't hear it. I don't know if it's playing or not.
It's not.
Because one time when I lived in New York, my wife and I got invited to Heidi Klum's Halloween party, and we went to it.
What'd you wear?
I was like, well, I can't compete, right? Like, I'm like,
I mean,
what?
you can't
Like,
compete,
no,
but you have to
I'm gonna be one of those
participate.
people on the side, just wearing like a suit and just I'm not gonna do that. So I didn't dress up, but I went to the party, and I walked in, and there was it was in some sort of like, I can't remember where it was, but there was like, it was like a library type situation, and there was like couches and things. The weirdest part is just you walk in and just sitting there is Heidi Klum.
What was she that year? Do you remember?
Something blue. Because she's always something
know, she's
completely
crazy.
outrageous.
Yeah.
It was some blue thing with like
Was that the
arms and
peacock
legs.
year?
It might have been. I don't remember.
Or an avatar.
But I did go
That's
to the Heidi
crazy.
Klum Halloween party one year.
Name
Play the
dropping
music.
with Lang.
We found the song.
All right.
Multiple people were E.T. Janelle Monáe was also E.T. She was E.T. with a donk.
All right.
If you can see it in the mirror. But I don't understand how people do these costumes.
don't either.
But again, I need the NBA players. If you were going to play on Halloween, we only had 4 games
I wish
last
I had
night.
the money to do this.
But NBA players do.
That's what I'm saying. Celebrities and NBA players do.
Yes.
You saw the costume I made for my son. Like, I
took you a
invested
lot of work.
probably $100 into that, just
Yeah.
myself, on paint, tape, cardboard,
Right.
foam board,
A backpack.
Yeah, I mean, I probably went to that art store on Union 7 times in the last week. They know me by name now, and I'm walking in there. Hey, do you guys have any packing tape or whatever? Like they either
Right.
thought I was like abducting someone or making a Halloween costume from the
This time
questions
of
I
year,
was asking.
they just assume that it's
Yes,
they're
they're hoping in one way.
That's so funny.
The one day, the woman was like, "Are you a student or a teacher?" And as I was checking out, and I said no, and she goes, "Is this for a student or a teacher?" And I go, "Well, yes." She goes,
Technically.
"Okay, well, you get the discount."
Oh,
And I-
nice.
yeah, that was great.
That's perfect. One last Halloween costume that I saw that was great. Bill Belichick's Halloween costume with his
yeah.
girlfriend.
Well, this is creepy.
No, it's not.
Why is he dressed? First of all, why is he
He's
dressed
a
like
fisherman. He found a mermaid.
and he found a woman 50 years younger than him?
Okay, as a woman
Like,
who
this is
generally
weird.
sighs on old men with younger women, for whatever reason, I'm rooting for this couple. I can't describe it. I can't explain it, but I find them absolutely charming.
You think he's legit happy?
Look at his face.
I mean,
we hadn't seen Bill Belichick smile.
She convinced him to do this.
I think
like
it's so
he must be
cute.
some relatively happy. He's
I
dressed like
hate
the
it.
Gordon's fisherman.
Like, I hate that I enjoy it as much as I do. He is Gordon's fisherman.
I don't like it. I
Got himself a mermaid.
Do you remember when there's that clip of, was it Hard Knocks, and Randy Moss invites him to the Halloween party, and he's like kind of into it, and he's like, all right, maybe you go. That's like the only time we've seen him ever show any sort of
Yeah.
personality. Otherwise, he's just grumbling about,
Yeah, and
two
look
deep
at him
safeties.
now, dressing up for Halloween. How many times in life do you think Bill Belichick dressed up for Halloween?
I mean,
Probably
dressing
every
up
year.
dressing up's a strong term for this. Like, that's probably what he would actually wear if he was going to the beach.
True.
You know, she was like, here, put a pipe in.
But he did a couple's costume. Like,
Oh.
Bill Belichick doesn't feel like a
that's not
couple's costume type of guy.
She wore, I mean, she can't walk in that thing, clearly. Look at it. It's like
Yeah.
her feet are encased.
She's a mermaid.
She wore that thing to the beach. He had that on to go to the beach.
I would have given Bill Belichick like infinite more credit if he went as a merman. Like
Yeah.
if you put Bill Belichick in the same costume.
I would not
and they
want
were-
to see that.
Why not? It's Halloween.
I don't know. I'll tell you why not, because Bill Belichick's 75 years old and grumpy, and like, we don't need that. We're good.
We don't need that. All right, Lang, thanks for joining us on
Thank you.
this
Oh, who's
here
this?
Friday. Oh, that was Kerry Washington. She went as challengers with her 2 lovers
Oh,
from
like the
Scandal.
movie,
And
yeah.
this woman, they just continue to feed into everybody's internet festivities when it comes to.
Oh, Stanford shirt he has on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you not see Challengers?
No, I can't see that. A tennis
God,
movie?
Put respect on
Come on.
Trent Reznor's score. When I'm on my runs, I play the Challenger soundtrack. I'm sorry. Did you see Did you listen to the Challenger score?
No. Did you see Challengers?
Did you see Challengers?
No, exactly. No, we're not going
It's
to watch
Zendaya
that.
and her 2 little boys.
Tennis.
And it
It's
was
a
Kerry
tennis-
Washington and her 2
Zendaya
little
and a
boys.
tennis-
Once I found out
movie?
what
No.
the sex scene
Oh my
wasn't a
gosh.
sex scene, I was like, yeah, I'm out. I'm not watching
It wasn't as
Yeah.
spicy as
Yeah,
some
like-
alluded
Well, also,
to.
you know Zendaya's not going to do that.
Whatever, she's a great actress. It
Right,
was a
she's
great
a great
movie.
actress.
Oh my gosh.
Not interested.
Put
And I haven't
respect
listened
on
to-
Challengers.
The craziest part is just now finding out Trent Reznor did the soundtrack to a tennis movie.
It was good. It's not really a tennis movie. It's a relationship. It's a stress movie.
It's not
an
really
anxiety
It's
riddle.
called Challengers. Like, what do you?
And the last scene is a tennis match. But the way they shot it, there's a camera on the ball. You feel like you're in the match.
What's the best tennis movie of all time?
King Richard.
What about Match Point, the Woody Allen one?
There was a movie with Kirsten Dunst called Wimbledon.
I remember that. Paul
like that
Bettany,
movie.
Paul Bettany and Kirsten Dunst. Yeah,
I
I've seen
like that movie. I think Challengers is the best tennis movie.
It's a top 5 tennis movie
Yeah,
all
you
time.
guys are
'Cause There's
haters.
only 5 tennis movies
I was going
ever
to say, I
made.
can't think of any other tennis movies in the stratosphere.
Tennis?
Didn't Air Bud play tennis?
Was there an Air Bud
might have
tennis
been.
movies?
I don't know. He played all the
He
other
played all
sports.
the others.
I'm just assuming Air Bud.
I'm thinking
Battle
now.
of the Sexes was the Emma Stone, Steve Carell,
Oh
Billie Jean
yeah,
King movie.
but that's it's sort of a documentary.
Match Point.
That's what I said. The Woody Allen one.
Oh, I forgot.
With Scarlett Johansson
in that as well.
and Cillian Murphy is in it.
Mhm.
I was that gave me an idea though. Next year, my dog Air Bud for Halloween.
It's so easy.
Yeah, I should have thought of it.
Your dog goes as a dog.
I just attach a ball to it or something, like a jersey or somebody. I don't know.
Get to work.
Yeah.
You worked hard enough. If you haven't seen, did you post?
It's on my
Vex costume?
stories. I don't know.
It'll
They have
probably
a
go
photo
away soon.
somewhere
It's good.
down there. Yeah.
Go find it someplace.
Anyway.
All right, we got to
I'll
take a
post it
quick
on
break.
Twitter.
When we come back, we will do our RAGGOWs for this weekend, our games of the weekend in college football and the NFL. And still ahead, we will be joined by Memphis Hustle head coach T.C. Swirsky. It is Hustle Media Day. We're giving away a Jaren Jackson Jr. signed
Wow.
Memphis Hustle jersey.
I'm signing
You have
it
to
too.
stay tuned to get the trivia to have your chance to win. Lang Whitaker will not be signing
I'm
it.
signing
it
it
will strictly
also.
be a Jaren Jackson Jr. jersey. We'll be back after a quick break.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GBWR.
At Southland Casino Hotel, it's time to work hard, play hard with our $500,000 giveaway. Earn entries October through November 9th and take home free play and amazing prizes on select Saturdays, including a big rig. Stay connected on social media for weekly drawing clues. Join us November 9th for the grand finale drawing where you could drive off in a four-wheeler, side-by-side, or big rig. Work hard and play harder at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing compares to catching your Grizzlies IRL. And that all starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight. Put that jersey collection to use for the next game and get Grizzlies tickets at Ticketmaster. Whether they're here at FedEx Forum or on the road, Ticketmaster's got your back when it comes to scoring tickets. And there's no better brag than saying you saw it live.
Somebody else we have not seen in a long time is Morant. Since you've seen him, does he look any different to you, or is this the same superstar jaw that we were used to?
He's always getting better, so you just got to watch out for that. That's.
And it's a
he's
revenge
always-
tour. It's a
yeah.
revenge tour, like the world's forgotten about me. And
I don't think they forgot.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
The three big beats this week. One was root for points in honor of John Roser. How about that Miami-Louisville game?
Good
Crushed
grief.
the over, which was 60. Finished with 97 total points, 52-45. Meanwhile, the Academy's covering again, both Army and Navy, getting the job done.
This.
Army, best start since 96.
America.
Navy crushed Charlotte. They're ranked 23rd and 24th in the country.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Yellow laces, really bright yellow primary color. You got black on the trim and on the edges.
I gotta get 'em.
And you got some red there as well. Look at that right there, Mike. Look at that right there.
Man, look at that G. Look at that G, boy. That G is moving strong right there, too, man.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
John Cena was spilling life lessons on this stream, bro. So the best thing I watched all week, John Cena on the Cassinet stream. By the way, he stole your hairdo. You got to make a phone call.
I was about to say, you showed me a little bit of this clip because I saw the messy room, and the only thing I could see is John Cena's hair. I mean, come on, bro.
He stole your bar.
It's
he stole
literally identical.
He stole your flow, bar for bar, word for word.
How is mine more gray than his, though?
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
Welcome back. Thanks to Lang Whitaker for coming in studio on a Friday, as always. Memphis Hustle head coach TC Swirsky is going to join us in the next segment. I just sprinted to the bathroom and back. So CJ, can you kick off the RAGGOW with your first game of the week? Oh. That was beautiful.
Ole Miss, Arkansas. Weird stuff happens in this game.
Sure does.
I can't wait to sit down. Got my popcorn ready. I already know what I'm doing this weekend from a game food standpoint for college football. I will park my ass right there in front of that TV for this game right here. And I know they're going to give me something strange. It's going to end on a 8 lateral touchdown or something odd like that again. When these two teams play, again, odd stuff happens. Ole Miss, Jackson Dart, they still have a shot at the CFP. Ole Miss wins out. They got a good chance of making the CFP. Can't have any more losses. Arkansas, on the other hand, is one of those teams in the SEC that is like, oh, is Arkansas good? What's going on here with these Razorbacks? You think about some of their losses, they've been close. They've had opportunities to win those games. The one that immediately comes to mind, Oklahoma State, that's a game they should have won. Arkansas playing in Fayetteville. Ole Miss doesn't beat Arkansas in Fayetteville. I think they've done it twice since the turn of the century, twice since 2000. And it's going to be tough for them. It's going to be loud. It's going to be intense. Remember the last team last ranked team in a big time showdown with Arkansas to go to Arkansas and play? That was Tennessee. And I do believe Arkansas came out of there with a win in that contest. So give me Ole Miss, Arkansas right off the bat. I like what's the running back's name? Jaquindon Johnson for Arkansas. I do believe they have a receiver that's second in the SEC in receiving yards per game. I like this matchup. I look forward to seeing it play out.
Arkansas is very Taylon Green dependent.
Yes.
When their quarterback plays well, they've won. When he has a turnover, when he's sacked multiple times a game, they've lost. When you look at the LSU game, they had him under pressure the whole time, and he wasn't able to do much of anything. I'm very excited for that game as well. You think Ole Miss is just going to waltz into Fayetteville? They don't
Nobody
do that.
Thinks that.
They don't
Nobody
do that.
Thinks that. Ole Miss fans don't
I also think
that.
this is one of the, I said this on the Vernon Show this week, one of the best SEC rivalries that doesn't get enough credit for being one of the best SEC rivalries. Like, it feels like there's a little something extra there.
You have your main rivals. Everybody does. It's the same thing with Indiana, Michigan State this week, where it is, Indiana has their main rivals. Michigan State has their main rivals. But these two are secondary rivals. It's still a really, really fun, good rivalry. But bringing it back to Ole Miss, Arkansas, I'm with you on that.
With my first game of the week, it's not the best game in the Big Ten because I will be in attendance at the best game in the Big Ten on Saturday when I watch my USC Trojans play the University of Washington Huskies on what is sure to be a rainy fall evening in Montlake at Husky Stadium. But if you can't be at that game, might I suggest watching Ohio State, Penn State, number 4 team versus number 3 team, 11 a.m. on Fox. I really wish this was a night game, but it will be the game to start the day. Ohio State, 3-point favorites, and this is a true pressure game for both coaches. And I think that Ryan Day has more to lose at this point, which is funny because James Franklin is 1-12 against top 5 teams. But you know what James Franklin is against top 5 teams, and it would be a pleasant surprise for Penn State to finally get a win over Ohio State, to get a win in a game as big as this one. With Ryan Day, you already have a loss on the season. Like, Penn State's, all their goals would still be in front of them with a loss to Ohio State this weekend. Ohio State becomes a 2-loss team, and suddenly you are cranking up that seat warmer on Ryan Day. Fair or unfair, when you coach at Ohio State, there is one thing that you are supposed to be playing for, and that is a chance to go to the college football playoff and a chance to win a national championship. And I look forward to seeing which team comes out on top.
Ryan Day's seat is warm because he's lost to Michigan in 3 straight years, right? That's why.
Speaking of rivalries that matter.
Well, yeah, like that's your big rival, and then there are some other ones. This is also one of my games of the week. But like Ohio State, you think about the run they've been on in this conference, and it's been a really good run in this conference under Ryan Day specifically. And the only issue right now with Ryan Day is the losing streak to Michigan. That's why the seat gets warm. That's why Cooper was fired in the 90s. It was, hey, you've got all these accolades. Sure, you've got Heisman Trophy winners. Sure, you're winning 9-10 games and getting to pretty prestigious bowl games and winning those, but you're not beating Michigan, and we can't have that. We got to move on from you.
I would argue that it's not just Michigan. I know like a loss in the Cotton Bowl is not going to hold a ton of weight.
Do bowl losses matter anymore?
Not entirely, but when you put it in he's 2-5 against top-ranked opponents in his last 7, and Michigan is included in 2 of those losses in the last 3 years, because I think it was they won last year, they won the year before, they lost to a ranked Missouri team in the Cotton Bowl last year, they lost to Georgia in the semis the year prior. It just becomes a narrative, and no one has patience anymore, and especially not at Ohio State. No. But also Penn State might be without Drew Aller. So I think that makes a significant difference.
I looked yesterday.
He's a game-time decision.
College football.
He is a game-time decision. I am intrigued.
I would expect him to play. I would expect
him to always give it a go.
Yeah,
but then how close is he to 100%?
Or a 2 in, and then they take it from there.
His backup, that Bo Pribula, who came in the Wisconsin game, like he put together a tone-changing drive, and he was capable, but you're playing up against Ohio State. Ohio State came very close to losing to Nebraska last week.
Penn State can push the ball down the field in a way that they haven't been able to, and I said it on Odds, a couple of Grind City Media subsidiary. Check it out everywhere you get your podcasts and on the Grind City Media app. I said it yesterday. This is the most explosive Penn State offense, it feels like anyways, since the KJ Hamler team, where they're able to push the ball downfield. Now, still not great. Don't get me wrong here. It's not like they're Tennessee with Hendon Hooker as it pertains to just big plays constantly happening down the field. But they are able to get enough of those big plays to where you say to yourself, okay, can they get 4 or 5 of those in this game? And then can they score off of those plays, right? So you get inside the red zone, or you get inside the 30 and at least get field goals. Because in years past, Penn State, if you start on the 25, if you start on the 30 for Penn State, you got to drive 70 yards. You're not getting any chunk plays from that. Penn State can get some chunk plays. And so I'm interested to see what they do against Ohio State defense that's pretty solid, and an Ohio State team that, like you said, almost lost to Nebraska last week.
My other game of the week is a game that when you and I were talking about it off camera earlier this week, we proclaimed it a game that should not matter as much as it does, but it absolutely does. In the ACC, all of the attention on undefeated Miami, a lot of attention on Clemson bouncing back from their opening week loss and putting together a really nice season thus far. But the other 2 teams in the ACC, Pitt and SMU. Pitt, a perfect 7-0 this season. SMU 7-1, but both undefeated in ACC play. I have become borderline obsessed with the ACC tiebreaker situation that could occur if SMU, Clemson, and Miami all end up undefeated in conference play. Pitt cannot be included in that because Pitt plays Clemson. So one of them could beat the other, which takes them out. So that requires SMU to beat Pitt this weekend. SMU a 7.5-point favorite in this game. Both teams have quarterbacks who are game time decisions, questionable going into it. But if that tie happens in the ACC, they voted in 2023 where they will be determining the 2 spots in the ACC championship game by the combined winning percentage of their ACC opponents. And if there happened to be a tie with that, if Clemson, Miami, and SMU, their opponents all had the same winning percentage, then you would go to whichever team has the highest ranking in the Sports Source Analytics team rating score. I love chaos and stupidity in the sport. This is one of those instances. They decided to go divisionless. This is on them. I want that to happen very badly and see how that all falls out. But first, we have to get a Pitt SMU game. They're both ranked. I'll be interested in watching it.
They're not the only conference with some shenanigans that could pop off. We need conference semifinal games. That's the next thing that we need.
Exactly.
And I look forward to getting that out.
Please share with what you just learned in the chat. I saw you giggling over there.
You got Miss Kim. Miss Kim can't watch the show.
I got Miss Kim.
Miss Kim can't watch the show on her work laptop because of mature content.
Who do we think that falls on?
Which one of us was talking about Ryan Reynolds' dick from 1999?
It was a movie?
Yeah, I know it was a movie, but which one of us was making the dick jokes?
Not me. I just said the name of the movie. You're the one who took. I said Ryan Reynolds, 1999, Kirsten Dunst, Michelle Williams, dick. You laughed. I'm sorry that you have the mind of when I'm saying that everyone should go see Wicked and Gladiator 2 on the same day and call it Gladict. I am simply linguistically we do that all the time, from Benifer to Gladict. Like, I don't understand the issue here. You take your shirt off all the time.
All the time?
All the time.
When's the last time I took my shirt off?
Like last week.
Okay, last time before that.
I was shocked you wore full clothes for Halloween. My time hop, remember when you dressed up as a pharaoh?
Yes.
That was my time hop. I was like, wow.
That was a good costume.
The middies were out.
I don't know what to tell you. Like, so, can we just admit that it's a team effort?
Yes.
Okay.
As Alien Jacob said, Jessica has literally talked about eating testicles on this show. They're bull testicles, and they're called Rocky Mountain oysters, and you can get them at Rockies games. I'm sorry, I'm such a baseball fan that I know these special delicacies.
You be thirsting over these dudes in really uncomfortable ways. Do I need to remind you about the Justin Timberlake picture?
I didn't thirst over that one. No offense to Justin Timberlake.
You did thirst.
No, I thought it was weird.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. I thought his facial expression was weird.
Your immediate answer, your immediate transition
this is going to ruin the tour, and I was correct.
No. Your immediate, the first picture, the picture with the shirt up.
Yes.
Your first thing was, speaking of shoving things down my throat. Do you remember saying that?
No, I don't. I have no recollection.
That?
I have no recollection.
My next game in college football.
You're at the NFL.
Am I on the NFL?
Yeah.
All right, my first NFL game, Kyra, throw it up there, Lions, Packers.
Oh, that's mine too.
Yeah, because it's for the NFC North Division. These teams are good. This will decide who gets into the driver's seat in that division. You're talking about 2 really good teams. I look forward to seeing who comes out on top.
I cannot wait. I really hope Jordan Love plays in this game for multiple reasons. I saw somebody say, how do you stop the Lions? And the answer was pray. Just pray, because they have operated so efficiently on the offensive side of the ball this year. They are one of the most fun teams to watch. They are the #1 scoring offense in the NFL, averaging 33.4 points per game. They have scored 40 points in 3 of their last 4 and have been able to pull their starters early in the fourth quarter in 2 of those games. Watching what they did to the Titans last week it should have been a crime. It was so awful for the Tennessee Titans. But alas, I really enjoy watching this Lions team. What's your second NFL game?
My second NFL game has big.
Are they big?
Big implications as it pertains to.
Oh, no. I'm not watching this game. I cannot.
It is going to matter because these are 2 of the 3 worst teams in the NFL. The New England Patriots travel to Nashville. I do believe they travel to Nashville to take on. They travel to Nashville to take on the Tennessee Titans. And if the kid had any energy, at
You'd
all,
go.
$37 tickets. Are you kidding me? Hell yeah, I'd go. And that means I know I could find them for cheaper than that. Yes, I would go. These are 2 bad teams playing, and the loser gets to be the winner because they seize control of the #2 overall draft pick in next year's NFL draft. And I ran through the Titans' schedule, and oh boy, I'm not sure if they get 5 wins. I ran through it at the start of this, and it's like,
I don't think they do.
Yikes. I'm not sure if you don't, especially if you don't win this game right here. Oh, it's not a favorable schedule at all. Titans defense is good. That defense is good, right? Like, but that offense.
They're on the field constantly.
That offense leaves so much to be desired. Love Teresa Walker. Love that she comes on with us every Thursday. One of the highlights of my week is getting to talk to Teresa. I feel like there's doom and gloom around this team. I don't know how you see any hope in what this team is.
Hope.
Like long-term hope. They were the biggest free agent spenders in the NFL this past season, and this is what it got you? I'm not sure, man. And then you throw on top of it, what is Will Levis? We've seen a bunch of his cohorts from that draft class already being benched. I feel like we're getting to that point with him also, where it is, hey, we know what we got in him. We know what he is. It's time to find a better option than that at quarterback.
You know what my game is for this week, or I would hope that the people would know. Give me Broncos, Ravens. The Denver Broncos have won 5 of their last 6 games and now enter a marquee stretch where they face the Ravens this week, the Chiefs next week, and this will be the biggest test on the progress of Bo Nix. I will reserve my feelings on Bo Nix until how I see him perform against the Ravens on Sunday, but I did watch quite a bit of the Broncos-Panthers game from last weekend, and he was really impressive. But again, it's against a Panthers defense, one of the worst defenses in the NFL, so he should look great. But the progress of Bo Nix has been encouraging. He's the Rookie of the Month in the month of October. He has shown an ability to lead this team. Sean Payton has been high on him all season. That's how I got talked into Bo Nix. I listened, dare I say, I trusted Sean Payton going into this year. It was a rocky start, but he's been solid, and we will see how this team holds up. They have one of the better defenses in the NFL this season. I always judge a defense by, are they just a play it and step away in fantasy football? And the Broncos are one of those defenses this year. So Broncos, Steelers, Vikings, you're just playing them every week. Chiefs, I guess, at this point, too. But you're not excited for this game? You think the Broncos are going to get shellacked?
No, because that defense is good, right?
I do worry because the Ravens had such a bad game last week, and they tend to bounce back from.
If you don't turn the ball over, you give yourself a chance. That's all you have to do at the quarterback position. Just don't turn the ball over.
That's what he has been great with.
What Jameis Winston and the Cleveland Browns did last week, they didn't turn the ball over against the Ravens, I don't believe. Right? And they gave themselves a chance. The second thing you have to do as a quarterback and as an offense, forget quarterback. Bo Nix isn't good. Throw him out the window. As an offense, don't turn the ball over. Get 2 first downs a drive. Let's play some field position. If you can do those things, you give yourself a chance. Bringing it back to Bo Nix, he's done that. Sean Payton is a hell of a play caller, and I was thinking this earlier this week. I don't want to jump all over Russell Wilson just yet, but I thought there was more in the tank than what was shown in Denver, and I feel like through 2 games back, he's showing that right now. How odd is it that Sean Payton is a good football coach, and Russell Wilson is a good quarterback, and those 2 did not work last year because Payton got mad at Russell Wilson. Right? Like
And Russell got mad at Payton.
Russell wanted to play. Payton didn't want to play him. Like that's not on Russell. That's on Sean Payton. That part isn't. Like Sean Payton got mad at Russell Wilson for not taking less money and refused to play him, and that just didn't work. And so now we were trying to figure out, which one is good, which one is bad. Well, they're both good.
Right, but a piece of that I felt was, and maybe I'm misremembering, but the off-script nature of Russell Wilson when he was with the Broncos was so bad. Like when Russ went off script, it was turnover heavy. He wasn't able to lead that team. And so when I say Russ got mad at Sean Payton, and it almost felt as if he was going against game plans to try and make big plays himself, and it wasn't working in Denver. And so then it was just a collision course for both of them. Personality-wise, they just did not fit.
They were a playoff team when Russell Wilson was a starting quarterback. They were in the playoffs.
Yeah, but did you watch?
They
never looked like a playoff team.
But they were in the playoffs. What you look like and what you are. This isn't college, right? Where what you look like for whatever dumbass
Hell, the Jets
reason
could
matters.
still make it into the playoffs at this point.
What you are is what you are, and what they were at that time was a playoff team.
Well,
And
right
then they
now the
moved.
Broncos very well could be a playoff team.
Broncos
And I
are
know
a
that
playoff team
you are
right
a Bo Nix hater, but I will say from a perspective of something you said is he is not turning the ball over. And
That
a part of
matters.
being a good quarterback is not turning the ball over. That factors into how I am defining you as good. And when you have 9 touchdowns and 1 turnover in a 4-game stretch, that is a good stretch of play for a rookie quarterback. That's why he gets Rookie of the Month in the NFL honors, first Bronco in forever to get that. And he's now completing passes because the whole thing was, he can always use his legs, but can Bo Nix throw the ball? And can Bo Nix throw the ball when he's under pressure? And he's been better. Now again, it was against the Panthers and other lesser defenses. And you'll see how that is against both the Ravens and the Chiefs. But he's putting the ball in positions for his receivers in a way that we did not see in the first couple weeks of the season. So I'm encouraged by Bo Nix. The train is choo-choo. It's slow. You know, like the train when it starts going like chugga, 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 chugga. But not, you don't get to the first choo-choo. It's just the beginning. You like hear the wheels on the tracks. That's where I'm at.
You don't have to do that, though.
I'm excited about it.
You don't have to. Yeah, you can be excited about this football game and not want to hop on the Bo Nix train.
Oh no, you're
gonna make me like put on the evil villain costume with the little handlebar mustache, and like hog.
Are you tying me to the tracks?
I'm hog tying you to the tree to keep you off of the Bo Nix train. Don't
what
do
if
that.
you hog tie me to the tracks?
And you get run over?
I was in a children's musical called Tied to the Tracks. And I was a hog tie girl. I played like a bar mistress when I was 8.
I don't want you to get hurt. I'm trying to protect you.
Trying to protect your heart.
As the most right person on this show, as the most correct, as the furthest right person on this show, Jessica, at times we have to protect women whether they want it or not. I'm going to protect
God. Get it.
whether you want it or not. I'm finna protect you, Jessica.
That was a good reference. All right, we got to take a quick break. When we come back, the moment is here. A signed Jaren Jackson Jr. Memphis Hustle jersey. I will give you the trivia on the other side. You will have an opportunity to win the trivia and win this jersey, and you're going to have a chance to hear from Memphis Hustle head coach T.C. Swirsky. He joins us when we come back.
Anticipate each challenge. Make a quick response. Capitalize on every opportunity. And win. Greatness won't wait. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st. And you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
Justin Timberlake. I'm bringing sexy back. The Forget Tomorrow World Tour. Live in Memphis. Justin Timberlake. FedEx Forum, Saturday, November 23rd. Get tickets now at LiveNation.com. The brand new single Selfish is available to stream and download now. If I get jealous, I can't help it. For more, hit up JustinTimberlake.com.
One of the things I really do like about the history of the Memphis Grizzlies is that we have people who have moved here and stayed here. I like how much some of those guys have not only made millions here and won games here, but spent real time here and raised children here.
Yes.
And become a real part of the community.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
You know, we got to talk about Scottie Pippen Jr. Scottie has inked that contract. He is now officially off the two-way. He is a member of the regular rotation.
Well deserved, from my opinion. Like, he straight up earned this one from all the time put in last season with the injuries to Summer League.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Yellow laces, really bright yellow primary color. You got black on the trim and on the edges. And you got some red there as well. Look at that right there, Mike. Look at that right there.
Man, look at that G. Look at that G, boy. That G is moving strong right there, too, man.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
The moment you have all been waiting for. One, we are joined in studio by Memphis Hustle head coach TC Swirsky. Coach, thank you for being here.
Pleasure.
In honor of your presence, we are also giving away a signed Jaren Jackson Jr. Memphis Hustle jersey. It is signed right here on the back, number 13. That's Jaren's signature. And we have trivia for our fans, our viewers, and you have the opportunity to win this. You will tweet your answer to Grind City Media on Twitter/X, and that is a chance to win the jersey. So the question is, Jaren Jackson Jr. was the first Michigan State Spartan to be drafted top 5 since fill in the blank. Go to Twitter, Grind City Media. You'll have an opportunity to win this Jaren Jackson Jr. signed jersey. It is Hustle Media Day. Coach, this is your first year as head coach. How does it feel different this time around?
I wouldn't be doing this last year.
That's true.
I wouldn't have cameras in front of me right now. A lot more meetings. Thankfully, it's not the old days where you pay by the minute for my cell phone bill, because I've had a lot more phone calls, a lot more text messages, a lot more meetings. Thankfully, shout out to Verizon, I got the unlimited plan, so that's kind of helped me out a little bit. But yeah, that's probably the main difference.
Do you remember when you had to pay per text and you would like keep track of the text and it had the little number next to it?
And roaming charges too. I remember those were a killer.
Those were
to only talk for free after 9 though. So back in the day, if you were the coach, you could have done these meetings like nocturnally, like, hey, let's meet 9:15 p.m. when my minutes is free.
That exactly. You know what? And I was always a house phone guy too, just a corded house phone. But I wouldn't have been able to use that time. My mom would have wanted to be on the phone as well. Meetings probably wouldn't have worked that well.
Do you remember what your first cell phone was, or what was your dream cell phone?
Yeah, it was a Razor. Yeah, it was silver. I didn't know if that was a striking point right there. Yeah, my mom, she didn't let me get a cell phone till high school. I feel like a lot of people were getting them 7th, 8th grade, and I was one of the late ones. But I actually felt like it benefited me. That way, I didn't always feel like I had to use it. But I was hyped when I got it for sure. I was texting people. I was taking them blurry pictures and everything like that. Yeah, I was ready to roll.
Y'all wanted cell phones.
Yeah.
I didn't. I felt like it was a way for my parents to keep up with me, and I wanted to just be, even though I wasn't, I just wanted to be roaming the streets of Nashville, free of parental leashes and controls.
I just wanted to take blurry selfies and post them on MySpace.
There you go.
So, you couldn't bring that little digital camera everywhere. This is your first year as head coach of the Hustle, but you were the lead assistant last year. It's your 4th year with the Hustle, 6th with the organization.
Yeah.
For people who aren't aware of your journey, how did you end up in Memphis? Where did the coaching bug strike, and kind of what led you here?
Yeah, it's kind of a long journey. I'll try and make a short story here, but I was a student manager at UNLV after I finished playing high school basketball. And fortunately, at UNLV in Las Vegas, the summer league's out there, the Team USA basketball is out there. So I was able to kind of help out in those settings as well, meet some people, and through that was able to start as a video intern with the Portland Trailblazers under Coach Terry Stotts. I was there for 5 years and heard that there was a head video coordinator job open under Coach Jenkins when he had just got the job. Kind of went through the process of meeting him, interviewing him, and was blessed to get the head video job under him, worked for him for 2 years, and then had the pleasure of the last 3 years of working for Coach March as an assistant with the Hustle.
For people who don't understand what a video coordinator's job is, can you explain kind of the inner workings of that and how it ultimately leads as a pathway to coaching?
Yeah, I do feel like, not to be like an old head now, because I'm going to sound like one. It is a little bit different now than back when I started.
I mean, we just talked about razor phones. You can be an old
Exactly.
head in a situation.
Now there's a lot more. You can get a lot more help from technology.
Gotcha.
But the one thing that stays the same is just the amount of detail that goes into the job. You got to know everything for everybody. So, last night the Grizz played the Bucks. You have to know everything they run. You have to know who comes out of the game at what time, end the game, what are their go-tos, and then coaches want to know stats. Coaches want to know what the visual of a play call is. Like, there's so much that goes into it, and you have to be the person on every day, because that coach getting ready for the game, they might have Milwaukee tonight and then have another team in 2 weeks. Well, you have to know Philadelphia on Saturday as well. You can't just skip those 2 weeks without preparing for the other team. So you have to be on every day, and I think it helps you with the players. If you're good at your job, they'll respect you because they'll know that you know what you're talking about. But you just got to kind of be a jack of all trades.
As a hustle coach and as a coach of a G League team, it has to be kind of like a bittersweet thing, right? Because you want players to develop and then ultimately get the opportunity with the NBA, and in this case, the Memphis Grizzlies. And for you and the Hustle, like, there's been such great success of two-way players from last year with Gigi Jackson and Vince Williams Jr. graduating from their two-way assignments to even this year, going into the year, you have Scottie Pippen Jr. getting his full-time contract, and then just recently having Jay Huff get his guaranteed contract from the Grizzlies. What is it like balancing as you're going into this, you're trying to plan for the season, and in real time, you're watching these guys graduate to great opportunities, but now you have to fill the roles there in the Hustle too.
Yeah, well, I mean, first, congrats to both of them. It's awesome. I think anytime you're in this role, you just want to see people keep getting better and moving up. And that can go for staff as well. Shout out, we had our assistant trainer last year, Bronco. He's now with the Grizzlies. So it's not always players. It could be staff in our profession too. But to get back to like your question, I think that you just want to pour into these guys as much as you can, not just the two ways, but everybody on the roster. For example, 2 years ago, we had a guy, Jacob Gilliard. Seeing those guys get two ways, seeing those guys keep progressing makes me just as happy. And now it's on us for the next batch of people that come in to do our job. It's what they pay us to do. It's our job to get those guys better as well. So I feel like Gigi, Vince, anybody who comes through that keeps moving up, that's what we're here for, and that's what we want to see them do.
Coach, you're a younger coach. What benefits are there to being a younger coach?
I could still move around a little bit.
Okay.
Probably not as much as I used to. I used to be kind of quick, but I like getting on the floor. I know everybody has their own style. To me, if I'm not moving around, then I wouldn't feel like I'm doing the best I can. It's just kind of what helps me sleep at night. I just like being out there. It's what I've done my whole life, so I want to just keep doing that. I wouldn't say like being young, being old is anything that could benefit you, not benefit you. If you just have good feel with the players, if you just respect them and just treat people how you would like to be treated, I think that can help at the end of the day, because some of these kids, I have no idea what they're listening to music-wise. I'm only 33. You should hear some of the stuff that they play. I mean, I have no idea what's going on. So I can't – the music stuff's crazy to me. But just kind of being able to still talk basketball with them and not feel too old will help me out. But at our level especially, it's a lot of younger guys, and it kind of helps keep me young at the same time.
Is there a current artist that the youth are listening to? Because I'm with you, Coach. That the youth, some of the artists they listen to is like, I can't rock with it. But I feel like my father and I are connected in this way because I was listening to like Lil Jon and Yin Yang Twins, and I know it bothered him like hell that's what I was listening to. So I just give the kids a break. But is there a current artist that you are like, yeah, you know what? The kids are listening to this. I can rock with this also.
You know what? I'm sure that there's like 4 or 5. I couldn't tell you the names of them.
Because it all sounds the same.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you the names. I mean, as long as they're happy, cool. But I'm sure there is. There are too many.
I feel that.
Too many.
All right, you mentioned Jacob Gilyard, who had some nice run with the Grizzlies last year out of necessity, but he was a shorter point guard. Now this year, it feels like Jacob Gilyard walked, so our new short king point guard can run. Yuki Kawamura, one of the most exciting. You see it here at FedEx Forum. When the Grizzlies are up last night, Yuki checks into the game, and that place explodes. And everyone is so anxiously awaiting a chance to watch Yuki score his first bucket here at FedEx Forum with the Grizzlies. I know a lot of people are going to be excited to go down to South Haven and watch Yuki Kawamura on his 2-way contract. But what have you experienced with Yuki so far, and kind of what you see for him this year?
Yeah, I really thought he was going to make that shot last night too. People just gravitate to him. It's tough. I remember the first day he was here in Memphis, and he was on a basket working out, and you can't help but notice. You look around the gym, and everybody's watching him. People at different baskets that should be rebounding for other players, they're just watching our basket. It's just somebody that people just want to have eyes on, and he's super, super, smart is my first thing with him. I think he picks things up very quickly. Obviously, coming to a different country, his English is pretty good. He understands things well. And then on the court, very quick, get downhill, and just super unselfish. I think that's why he's going to translate so well to what the Grizzlies organization wants him to do. Just really wants to get everybody involved. And I'm sure everybody can tell the players just love having him around right now. So he will get that first basket soon. And I think that at our games, you probably won't get the "we want Yuki" chance. He'll probably be on the court to start. So I won't have to deal with that at least. But yeah, he's definitely something that people should come down to Lander Center to come check out.
Coach, did they give you any sort of a heads up about what ends up happening towards the end of this interview?
No, they had not.
So Coach Marsh didn't tell you. So usually we get the hustle coach Halloween day, and usually we're dressed up in Halloween attire.
It's true, that has been the trend.
And we run through some Halloween monsters characters.
Okay.
I give the character, you tell me how you would defend said character, the players you would use to kind of nullify that player's impact on the court.
We learn your philosophy as a coach this way.
Okay, good. Good. Let's get to it.
Frankenstein's monster, big, a lot of different parts. Not really agile though, but he is big and strong. So how are you handling that?
We gotta make a move.
Okay.
We gotta get him on the run.
All right.
Laterally, side to side. Just get him moving. He gonna fall.
Involve him in pick and rolls.
For sure.
Things like that.
For sure.
I got you.
ISO.
I got you. What about Dracula?
Stay away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we don't need to. Yeah, don't get too close.
Got you.
Yeah, Dracula's trying to injure guys.
Yeah,
man.
don't get too close.
He is a biter.
He's trying to.
Yeah, exactly. We don't know. Yeah.
All right. What about, this is my favorite one. I asked Coach Marsh this a couple years ago, had a great answer. I'm going to ask you, how do you defend somebody like the Teen Wolf? How are you guarding somebody that agile, that quick, that fast, jumps that high, also supreme leaping ability as a werewolf should have? How are you defending that?
Yeah, so you got me on that one. I don't. Yeah, the way you described it, I don't think there is any defending that. So you got me on that one.
I do love in the chat, somebody said for Dracula, just play day games with a sunroof.
That's a great call.
Just play them in the day. Hey, I did want to ask, obviously a lot of these guys on this team have been spending time with the Grizzlies organization through training camp. And I know Armando Bacot is going to be on the Chris Vernon show later today. I think David Johnson's going to be on Gary Parrish's show. But as it pertains to the two-way players, Cam Spencer is somebody who we haven't been able to see since Summer League. He has started this year with an ankle injury. But what can you tell us about Cam Spencer, and obviously the hope to get him on the court sometime soon, but also what he kind of delivers and the role that he can play?
Yeah. First thing that I think of with Cam is just fiery competitor. I mean, the guy just wants to win. He doesn't care about anything else but winning. I think that when you see him out there, you're going to see a guy that can really stretch the floor with his shot. I mean, catch and shoot, off the dribble, somebody who's just going to be a knockdown guy. And then also being able to get in the paint and make plays. Really can guard. I think when he gets healthy, he's going to be a huge addition to the organization.
Is there any timetable on when he should be ready to go for the Hustle?
I'm not sure about
yet.
that. I honestly, I've been so locked in on our training camp, I haven't even been thinking about anything with that stuff. I've just been trying to survive each day.
I know he's one of those players where I remember one of the big quotes that came out of Summer League was he was like, "No, I would literally die for a game."
Yeah,
like,
that
I
doesn't
would
surprise
die.
me. That sounds about right. That sounds about right. Yeah,
he has that energy
Mhm.
going for him. I know CJ asked you how you would defend various mythical Halloween creatures that exist, but in terms of your coaching philosophy, like you said, you were in Portland and now being under Taylor Jenkins for the time that you have. How do you define your coaching philosophy? What does that look like?
Yeah, like I said, I've been very fortunate to be around some really, really smart, intelligent coaches. I would say on the court, one that we play fast with, kind of like what the Grizzlies are doing right now. We want to kind of mirror their system with their pace and their principles. For me, toughness is a big thing. Physicality is a big thing. It's just kind of my thing, my style. And then off the court, just pouring into each player. The care factor from not just me, but our staff, assistants, medical, strength. We have to really care about each and every one of these guys on a team, make them feel that love, because it is a long season. We're not like the Grizzlies. We're in some weird airports at some weird times. We're on some bus rides around each other in awkward spaces. So the more that you feel like everybody really wants the best for you is a philosophy that I live by, because I think it just creates growth.
Well, I had a question, but now that you bring up the oddities and traveling with G League teams, what's the weirdest travel day that you've had? Is there a travel day that stands out to you?
Yeah, we had actually last year. We were leaving here to go play Mexico City, their G League team, and it's a connecting flight in Houston. We land in Houston, and there was a volcano that erupted outside of Mexico City.
What?
So,
wait, I didn't know Mexico City had volcanoes.
I don't know. So we land in Houston.
Popocatépetl is located in central Mexico.
Yeah, as we landed in Houston, you get like a text message or an alert on your phone if your flight's delayed or update. Well, we land and everybody looking at their phone and it just says flight to Mexico City canceled. You've been rescheduled for like 6 p.m. tomorrow, and I'm thinking, well, we play at 7. We're making it to Mexico.
We're not doing that.
So this is where you just have to adjust. You have to be super adaptable, and we were able to in Houston to somehow get our bags off the plane and stay the night in Houston. We woke up at 5 a.m. the next day. The league said that we had to play the game still, so we woke up at 5 a.m. the next day, landed in Mexico City, got through customs. I think we landed at like 2 or 3 in the afternoon, dropped off our stuff at the hotel, went to the arena, and we don't need to speak about the result of the game. But yeah, we somehow fielded a team. Yeah,
that's crazy.
And the altitude in Mexico City is
nuts.
like unreal. I mean, I think it's like twice as much as Denver. So yeah. So
Can you imagine if like the injury report for that game, like just nobody gets there because of it, and it's just volcano delay?
Yeah. Well, and it wasn't even because the initial volcano; it was the smoke in the air quality.
Yeah.
So our guys were thinking like, is this like going to be good anyway? So like, what are we walking into here? We were able to get a win the next night though, so it kind of made the trip better. And then we went from there to Portland, which was I think like a 12-hour travel day in planes. Yeah.
The grind is real.
That was probably that's probably the craziest one I've been a part of. Yep.
Honestly, that blew every expectation for craziest travel day that I thought you were going to come up with out of the water.
Nobody has my flight was delayed. Well, why? Volcano. Nobody has a volcano story over here.
We haven't had.
Now you do.
Because Mount St. Helens was before our time, so we
that-
haven't really had a volcanic
There was
incident
that volcano
in the US.
over in Greenland or Iceland a couple of years ago that
Oh,
popped
in
off, but that's
Iceland, it's
not
all
here.
the time.
That's not
Iceland,
here,
those volcanoes are rolling constantly, but you're not traveling to Iceland for your
Definitely
games.
not.
I know you have a really busy day, so we'll get you out of here. But the chat did want to know the newest member of the Memphis Hustle, the new two-way signing of Colin Castleton. He got a couple minutes at the end of last night's game, but what can you tell people about his fit and what he brings to the group?
Yeah, I think he's somebody that the organization is super excited about. Just watching him last year, he was with South Bay as a two-way with the Lakers. Somebody who's going to bring a lot to the table on the defensive end, protection at the rim. somebody that can move pretty well, get up and down the floor, finish around the basket, and somebody who's pretty good playmaker with the ball in his hands on the perimeter, can really pass, make good decisions. So I think that's what the organization really expects of him, and excited to see his growth here.
Do you guys have special scouting offices with the South Bay Lakers? I mean, between Scotty, Jay Huff, now Colin Castleton, it's a little G League pipeline from one to the other.
That's the one thing about basketball. If you're good enough, they'll find you no matter where you're at. So it just happened to be in South Bay for those two.
Well, Coach, we so appreciate you taking the time with us this morning. You guys open your season on the road, the hated Vipers, your first opponent of the season. And then you have home games beginning Monday, November 11th. You'll face Mexico City. Everybody get your tickets. Go out to the Lander Center. Support the Memphis Hustle. Yep. We're excited for the season.
Thank you. I'm excited. I'm excited too. Come down to Lander Center.
Absolutely. All right, everybody. Happy Friday to you. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. We will be back on Monday. There will be a Grizzlies game to discuss from over the weekend as they take on the Sixers, all the college football, all the NFL. We'll see you then. Bye.